Hi, welcome to Knits Up. I'm Mindy, your hostess, otherwise known as Knitter CNY. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Knitter CNY. Most of my postings are on Instagram these days, and there's also a Facebook group. Mostly those are Instagram posts there, and sometimes the podcast gets posted there as well, but I'm mainly on YouTube for the podcasts. So if you're on YouTube, please subscribe below if you like what you see, and also hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I post. I usually post once a week now. I've gotten on a more regular schedule. And just to give you a little bit of background around me, if you're joining me for the first time, welcome. If you're an older subscriber, you've been with me since the audio days back in the day. You can find those old podcasts over on knitsup.libsyn, LIBSYN.com, knitsup.libsyn.com. And I used to do an audio podcast for years, and then I switched to video once video became a little more economical. And that was maybe about 10 years ago. So I don't know how many episodes I've done. I stopped numbering episodes a while back. I just felt it wasn't necessary. I've got to imagine that I'm up to hundreds of them now. So if you are so inclined and you want to go number my podcasts, feel free. But I hope that you enjoy them. Mainly what I do is I show what I've worked on or what I'm working on. I have a wall of yarn in back of me that hopefully is going down now that I've started using some of it up. One of the things that I've been doing is knitting Advent type things. And the 3 Advent things that I knitted this week are all hats. This is my Advent. Let me go back. My Advent calendar was a DIY Advent calendar, and it used Lion Brand bonbons. And so what I did was I paired it mostly with Lion Brand yarns, but also some other yarns that I had in my stash just to use them up. So this first one is I call it my ugly Christmas sweater hat because it is definitely different. That's a red bonbon that's in there. I chose glittery ones. And this yarn is called Stitch Bird. It's a discontinued yarn. I think I bought this at Tuesday Morning a long time ago, but for a while, I can't even remember where I got it from otherwise. I think I bought it at Tuesday Morning like years ago. So it is a roving type yarn that has a thread around it, so that black thread is all around it, but it's a color changing yarn. And I just did a really simple crocheted hat with, I think it's half double crochets, and then it goes to single crochets at the top. The next hat I knit was out of Lion Brand Thick and Quick, which is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. I had some leftovers, so I thought I would just make a cute little hat. Nothing special. I think I cast on 40. And then I had bought some pom-poms off of Amazon, so I tied a little pom-pom on there. Nothing crazy, but it works. And then the final hat that I did is out of a discontinued Michaels yarn, loops and thread. I think they call it cozy wool or something along those lines. It's Country Loom. That's the name of the yarn, Country Loom. It's a boucle. And then I used some kind of orangey, peachy, pinkish color bonbon with that. So really simple, again, 40 stitches on a size 11 needle. And that concludes the hat portion of the show. The next thing I started working on was a Christmas Eve. Well, let me go back. I've been working on a blanket, and I got a little bit farther this week. This is the All for One crochet blanket from Bernat, and it calls for Bernat Pop, which is what I'm using. I have 6 skeins of this. I'm on my 2nd skein, and you've seen this pattern before if you watched the podcast, because I've knit lapgans, small afghans, out of this for the nursing home, and it's a really simple pattern. It's a granny square rectangle, basically. The only thing I did was modify the inner chain so that I kind of go between the stitches here so that I don't get loops forming. If you want to know how I do that, please message me and I will maybe do a demonstration of that. That's a shortcoming of this pattern. You kind of have to go in between the stitches when you go up the other side of the initial chain. And so I am making this. It's really simple. It's really mindless. The colorway I'm using is Scarlet Sizzle. It looks like that. My lighting today is not necessarily the greatest because it's kind of an overcast day. So I'm kind of working with what I'm given, which is an overhead light. Christmas Eve, I cast on, and pardon the crinkle because I'm getting out of a bag, I cast on with my Addy Rocket Squared, which kind of look like this. They're 2.5 millimeters, and I cast on a stock, and you can definitely see the sparkle. This is way more red in real life than it's showing up. It's showing kind of as an orange, and it's way more red in real life. It's sort of a cranberry color. And this is what the yarn looks like. Kind of looks better farther away, but you can definitely see there's a sparkle base, and this is called Vintage Tinsel, and it is sort of a blue, red, purple, and green. So all the colors that Tinsel would have been back in the 70s, the 60s, and the 70s, if you remember that. So I got pretty far on that, and then I decided I needed to work on older socks because a friend of mine said, "What do you mean you're not working on your older projects? Why are you not working on your older projects? You always start newer projects." Well, you've seen this sock before. This is Lion Brand Mani-Pedi yarn, and I just made a cuff down sock with a heel flap and gusset, and then a wedge toe. And the yarn does these freaky color changes. There's usually a line of like 3 color changes before it goes into a pattern. And of course, the 2 yarns that I picked, the 2 they're going to be fraternal twins. They're not going to be identical, but I'm okay with that because it's a very creative yarn. It's very relaxing to use. And if I hold this up, I am pretty close to the heel flap. So I've got to work on those some more today. And again, that is Mani-Pedi yarn. And then the final thing that I just started today, that'll be an ongoing project for a while. I think it's going to be a gift knit for Christmas. But in my family, my mom's side of the extended family is getting together January 8th. And so I've got some time to finish this, hopefully. We do a gift exchange, and you get to steal presents. So you bring a present that's probably a $15 value, and you get to steal it. Well, I bought 3 skeins of this mohair yarn for $20. So the yarn itself is mohair with another piece of yarn with it. I'll kind of hold this out so you can see. And it's sort of a purpley lavender color. It looks brown here, but it's a purpley lavender. And so what I'm doing is the Sassy Wool in the Woods Sassy Lynx scarf. Looks like that. It's all purling, and if you know how to yarn forward, like do a yarn over basically, and purl two together and purl, you can do this. It's a really simple lattice pattern. And this is only, I want to say, maybe an hour and a half of work. And I'm using size 11 US needles for that. So it's getting a lacy effect, but because of that mohair, it has a really nice halo. And this will make a really cute scarf. It could be a decorative scarf, but it could also be kind of a warm scarf if you were to kind of bunch it up and wear it. It would be really warm. But I don't know what I was doing buying mohair, because I don't wear mohair all that much. For me, it itches, but this is a really good quality mohair. So I'm liking the way that that pattern is turning out. It's got some darker purple in it. Like I said, I wish my color was a lot better. Let's turn off the light and see if it comes any better. Nope, it just gets dark. But you can kind of see that purple color. And let's open up our window here. Yeah. But you get the idea. So that's what I'm working on. A little bit of everything. And hopefully getting better with the sock knitting to get through I think there's 4 pairs of socks now that I need to get through. So January is going to be sock month, guys. Hopefully you have some socks that you haven't worked on for a while, and you are kind of belabored with, I've been knitting for Christmas, or I've been knitting for Hanukkah, or I've just been knitting and I don't know what to do, or I want to crochet socks and I don't know how. So grab your sock yarn or your sock project, and we'll make January sock month, and hopefully I can get some progress through these socks. I know it's still technically December, but we can get a head start. And hopefully you can come join me and make January your finishing socks month. And I would love to see pictures of your socks. If you want to send them to me through direct messaging in Instagram, you can do that, or just tag me and say, here, look at my sock pattern, or look at my socks that I'm working on, so I can see what you're working on too, to kind of give me a lift to continue working on my socks and see that we're all making progress on them. So that's all I've got for this week. And hopefully I will join you next week with more sock progress. Have a great week, guys, and go craft something. It's good for your mental health.